Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Now today in this video I want to be talking about Novak Djokovic, this guy right here, Novak Djokovic, the world number one, and what's next for him, because we all know that he has decided to withdraw from Mutua Madrid Open, citing his problems with right elbow. So there are certainly some medical issues for Novak Djokovic. But in this video, let's just discuss his past results, his recent results, and what may be next on the horizon for the world number one. So as I have said, let's start with the reason why Novak Djokovic in the first place decided to withdraw from Mutua Madrid Open. Well, to be crystal clear, it's not completely explained to us why Novak Djokovic decided to withdraw, but apparently you would think it has to do something with his right elbow. He has said it after the loss against Lorenzo Musetti in Monte Carlo that his right elbow really wasn't 100%, so probably really there are some problems with his right elbow. How severe they are, again, we cannot truly know, but according to his last performances against Luka van Asche and Dusan Lajovic at Banja Luka, he didn't really seem like it bothered him that much. Obviously there were some tough moments that we'll talk about in just a second, but it doesn't seem to be like an injury that would threaten his run at Roland Garros potentially. So yeah, it seems like probably it takes a couple of weeks maybe, but I think at Roland Garros he should be 100% ready. But again, we don't have a lot of information, but the main reason probably why Novak Djokovic decided to withdraw from Mutua Madrid Open, it seems to be the problems with his right elbow. Again, how severe they are, we don't know, but I expect that he should be ready for Roland Garros for sure. Next, let's talk about his results, okay, this season. He has won Adelaide, the first tournament of the season. Then he won Australian Open, so very good run down under for Novak Djokovic. Of course, there has been this drama if he will be able to go to Australia with all that happened last year, but eventually very good run for Novak Djokovic at Australia, winning Adelaide, defeating Sebi Korda in the final, and also winning Australian Open, the first Grand Slam of the season, defeating Stefanos Tsitsipas in straight sets at Australian Open final. So very good start of the year for Novak Djokovic. Then he reached the semi-finals in Dubai, where he lost against in-form playing Daniil Medvedev. And then, well, there were some pretty big pause for Novak Djokovic. He of course wasn't able to travel to United States because of his vaccination status, so he missed Indian Wells and Miami, and actually he had over a month without playing, without match practice, because he played the semi-final match in Dubai against Daniil Medvedev at the end of February, and the next match he played against Gakov in the second round of Monte Carlo was at the beginning of April. So he went over a month without match practice. That of course influences you, even though Novak Djokovic is world number one and we know what he is capable of. Even to him, that's something to think about, not playing for over a month. So that's the first concern for Novak Djokovic, not playing for a month. And then at Monte Carlo, well, he has been struggling at the Principality for quite some time. As we know, this year it was no different. He won against Gakov in the first match for him, it was a very, very tough first set. He went to tiebreak, but eventually he was able to beat Gakov in straight sets. And then in the next match, round of 16, he lost against Lorenzo Musetti in 3 sets. It really wasn't a very, very good performance from Novak Djokovic, especially after rain delay. It was a pretty poor performance from the Serb. And then he decided to play Banja Luka next. His home tournament, obviously organized or co-hosted by his brother. So Novak Djokovic always, doesn't miss opportunity to play in Serbia between or before his people. But a very disappointing run in Serbia as well, actually. He lost against Luka van Asche the first set. And it looked like he may lose against the French youngster, but eventually he was able to come through in 3 sets. But then right in the next match in the quarterfinals, he lost against his good friend and compatriot Dusan Lajovic in straight sets. Of course, Lajovic eventually went on a run to win Banja Luka. In the final, he was able to defeat Andrei Rublev, so you could argue that Lajovic was really playing at the top form of his life, but still, it was a very strange loss for Novak Djokovic. He lost the first set 4-6, and then in a tiebreaker in the second set, he was up 6-3. 6-3, and Novak Djokovic eventually lost the next 5 points in a row, and he lost tiebreak 6-8. So that's very disappointing. Very disappointing news for Novak Djokovic. Losing the tiebreak like that, I don't remember the last time I saw Novak Djokovic losing tiebreak from being 6-3 up and losing it 6-8. That's just unprecedented for Novak Djokovic, I think. So yeah, the last couple of results, very, very disappointing for Novak Djokovic. Of course, losing, as I have said, in the round of 16 at Monte Carlo against Lorenzo Musetti, and losing in the quarterfinals at Banja Luka against Dusan Lajovic. Actually, the next question I have is if he will play Rome. I think he will. That's the easy answer from me. I think he will do everything possible to play Rome, because if he wouldn't play Rome, then he will have 5 weeks without competitive match, and then he will go to Roland Garros. 5 weeks without playing tennis, right? So I think he will do everything in his power to play Rome. I really do believe that. I can't see him not playing Rome. I really can't see him withdrawing from Rome, so I think he will play Rome. And then, again, how well can he do at Roland Garros? That's the big question here. How well can he play at Roland Garros? Actually, I looked at his last seasons, and what's very interesting and what immediately caught my eye was the season 2021, because it was very, very similar for Novak Djokovic. At Monte Carlo, he lost also in the third round against Dan Evans. So very disappointing loss in Monte Carlo. Then he played his home tournament in Belgrade, and he lost in the semi-finals against Aslan Karatsev. So disappointing loss at his home tournament again. That's the same like this year. And then he withdrawn from Madrid. So exactly the same scenario as this year. And then he played Rome. He reached the final. He eventually lost against Rafa Nadal in the final, but he won Roland Garros, and he defeated Rafa Nadal on his route to the title. So again, guys, I was very surprised, but actually season 2021, when you look at the season 2021, it was almost absolutely identical to this year. Lost in the third round against Dan Evans in Monte Carlo, lost in the semi-finals in Belgrade in his home tournament against Aslan Karatsev. He has withdrawn from Madrid in 2021, didn't play Madrid, and then he reached final in Rome. He did play Rome, lost against Rafa Nadal, and then he won Roland Garros. So again, guys, even this shows you the bad results of Novak Djokovic at the beginning of the clay season didn't really have any influence on him playing at Roland Garros, and even him withdrawing from Madrid didn't really seem to have any influence on his result at Roland Garros back in 2021, because he was able to win the whole thing, right? I'm not saying it will be the same this year. The difference is that this year Madrid and Rome are 2 weeks events. That a little bit, shakes up the calendar. Still, I think Novak Djokovic is a force to be reckoned with at Roland Garros, and even with his bad results recently, even with him withdrawing from Madrid and some concerns about his right elbow, I still think he will be the man to beat, and he will be one of the top 3 favorites at Roland Garros this year once again. So what's next for Novak Djokovic? I think he will play Rome. Then I think he will take a week off before Roland Garros, and then I think he will be again one of the very, very top favorites to win the French Open. If he can win Roland Garros, I don't really want to get into it right here, right now, but I think, as I have said earlier, he will be one of the top 3 favorites for sure. So again, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what do you think? What's next for Novak Djokovic? Do you think he will play Rome? And what do you think? How well will he do at Roland Garros? Thank you very much, guys, for watching. See you soon, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye, guys.